Tonight, opening up, the president saying states need to slow down and keep mask mandates. Indiana still planning on removing the order next week. But with local governments now calling the shots, what could Delaware County expect?
Cracking down by Miami Beach looking to stop large gatherings, but while restrictions are in place, people living in the area demanding more.
Day one, the Derek Chauvin trial underway in Minneapolis. Graphic testimony and disturbing images. What's next in the trial?
Boat move to the Suez Canal is now open. What effects are still being felt?
And walking your horse to the Old Town Road, the new project for Lil Nas X and why he's being sued. I'm Madeline Kerr.
And I'm Lily Cedardahl, plus up to the minute weather and sports headlines. This is Delaware County's only live TV newscast.
Mask up. Mask up. It's a patriotic duty. It's the only way we ever get back to normal.
President Biden calling for states to reinstate the mask mandates. The president says he's concerned Americans are not taking the virus as seriously as they should be. In his words, that's what got us here into this mess in the first place.
But the countdown to looser restrictions is still on here in Indiana. Next Tuesday, the statewide mask mandate will be lifted, leaving it up to local governments and businesses to make their own decisions.
And in just 2 days, people 16 and older will be eligible to get a shot. But will East Central Indiana be ready?
NewsLink Indiana's Tyler Brummett has been digging for answers all day. He joins us now. Tyler, what did you find out?
Well, ladies, you both know it's really hard sometimes to get people on camera. We're used to getting told no as journalists, and let me tell you, today it was so hard to simply just get clarity from officials. So here's the deal. I reached out to several people, and we still don't know what will happen when these restrictions are lifted. So let's go ahead and start right here on campus and talk specifically about the vaccine rollout. So right now, the Health Professions Building is serving as a vaccination site. You see it right there on your screen. In emails today with the university spokesperson, I asked if the clinic will receive more doses and if they're ready to give shots to students who want them. I was told that question couldn't be answered. Last week, Governor Eric Holcomb said in an address, Wednesday is going to be the date when those over the age of 16 can get a vaccine. He also announced that the mandate on masks is going to come to an end come April 6th.
The face covering mandate will become a state mask advisory. When I visit my favorite restaurants or conduct a public event, I will continue to appropriately wear a mask. It's the right thing to do.
Well, speaking of the mask mandate, let's talk a little more about it. Will masks still be required on campus? I asked that question point blank. Once again, no response, but the university says that there should be more information later this week. I also have an interview scheduled with Ball State President Jeffrey Mearns on Thursday, and I hope come then we will find out more information. But let's talk now about the city of Muncie. When you go into businesses, are you going to be required to wear a mask here in Muncie? On the phone today with the mayor's office, I was told no one was available for an on-camera interview. They say, though, that they're going to let the public know of any changes. However, an official who works with the mayor says they will keep deferring to the Delaware County Health Department. So I reached out to DCHD. My phone calls and emails were not returned. Lily and Madeline, transparency today, not a good word to describe how this story went, but of course, state officials, they said that mask wearing and social distancing still needs to happen, but ultimately, when it comes to these decisions, it's going to be up to those local governments as well as businesses. So again, I'm going to stay on top of this throughout the week and bring you more come later on this week, both on air and online.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Hopefully we figure out more soon.
Absolutely.
And a new study shows vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna work as expected in real-world conditions. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention followed nearly 4,000 healthcare workers and first responders to see how vaccines are working. Some of them had received both doses, others one dose, and some had not been vaccinated at all. Researchers found both vaccines were 90% effective at preventing infections, even asymptomatic ones. They also affirm both shots are 80% protective after just a single dose. These results are what scientists expected based on clinical trials, but those results don't always match up to what happens in real-world conditions.
More Americans are getting vaccinated, and that opens up questions about what regulations still need to be followed after someone gets both doses. A new clinical trial hopes to answer that. Right now, for those fully vaccinated, the CDC is still advising against travel and continues to recommend masks and social distancing, unless around a group of other fully vaccinated people. The trial is looking into how COVID-19 may spread by studying 12,000 college students at more than 20 universities across the U.S. One group of 6,000 students will get Moderna's vaccine immediately. The other half will get the vaccine 4 months later. Those answers will help form recommendations on the future for the fully vaccinated.
We hope that within the next 5 or so months, we'll be able to answer the very important question about whether vaccinated people get infected asymptomatically, and if they do they transmit the infection to others?
And an update to a story we first brought you last week. South Florida is still cracking down on spring breakers over the weekend. A curfew is set in place for Miami Beach, but residents are still demanding the city do more. Over 100 residents of Miami Beach gathered in the front of the city hall, cheering each other on for change. They say the city hasn't been listening to their concerns. Spring break 2021 in Miami Beach making headlines all over the world because of the chaos and crime. The city say they're doing their part in stepping up enforcement.
I just think that this particular area needs to be really battened down at night, and we're going to continue to do that till it's pretty clear we don't have to.
Time is now 9:06, and we'll take it to Rudy Allersmeyer for our first look at weather.
You know, we certainly don't have any Miami weather today, but we did have sunny skies out there and above average conditions. Take a look at this and the temperatures. 54 right now here in Muncie, 52 in Indianapolis, 54 in Bloomington. We had a high of 58 here in Muncie today. That's above average. How above average? Well, right now we're 12 degrees warmer than we were this time 24 hours ago. So much warmer day than we had yesterday. Yesterday was a bit cooler, but still pretty warm day outside today. Coming up with my full weather, I'm going to be tracking a windy day for tomorrow, as well as rain chances going into tomorrow evening and Wednesday morning, plus a temperature roller coaster as we get into the later parts of the week. That's all coming up in my full forecast.
Thank you so much, Rudy. It's the first day of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin's murder trial in the death of George Floyd. Chauvin knelt on the 46-year-old's neck on May 25th as Floyd told Chauvin and 3 other officers he couldn't breathe. Just a warning, some of the video you're about to see is graphic. CNN's Camilla Bernal reports.
Inside a Minneapolis courtroom,
This case is not about split-second decision-making.
the murder trial for Derek Chauvin started with the state laying out their case against the former Minneapolis police officer, showing the jury 9 minutes and 29 seconds of bystander video of George Floyd being held on the ground by Chauvin's knee.
You will see that he does not let up and that he does not get up. Even when Mr. Floyd does not even have a pulse, it continues on.
Prosecutor Jerry Blackwell telling jurors it's clear Floyd's death was a homicide and matches the patterns of someone who dies from oxygen deficiency.
You'll see him when he goes unconscious, and you'll be able to see the uncontrollable shaking he's doing when he's not breathing anymore.
Defense lawyer Eric Nelson paints a different picture of what happened that day in May, telling jurors officers struggled to arrest Floyd and that the use of force is a necessary part of policing.
Derek Chauvin did exactly what he had been trained to do over the course of his 19-year career.
During the arrest, Nelson says Floyd put drugs in his mouth in an effort to conceal them from police.
Mr. Floyd died of a cardiac arrhythmia that occurred as a result of hypertension, his coronary disease, the ingestion of methamphetamine and fentanyl, and the adrenaline flowing through his body.
In Minneapolis, I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
President Joe Biden feels confident about the U.S. making changes regarding gun safety. The issue is once again in the spotlight following the recent fatal shootings in the Atlanta area and in Boulder, Colorado. Yesterday, while departing Delaware to return to the White House, Biden says he's willing to discuss a bill that includes universal background checks.
I'm the only one that's ever gotten past, man. Everybody keeps wondering whether I'm scared about dealing with rational gun control. The only gun control legislation ever passed is mine. It's going to happen again.
Next up, a new online meeting software transforming your average Zoom call. What the new program hopes to accomplish.
And a boat has been stuck in the Suez Canal for almost a week. What this looks like today. Stay with us.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
With COVID-19 restrictions, students have had to adapt to online classes, but there may be a new way to learn online. With virtual reality, NewsLink Indiana's Catherine Segal looks more into Meet 3D and the future plans for the platform.
Zoom fatigue, increasing among students.
It has. I've actually fallen asleep on a Zoom, and it was awful. My professor saw me, I was on camera.
But with a new online digital platform, Meet 3D, users can add virtual reality to any online meeting.
Really to give yourself some kind of feeling of being in the presence of other people when we can't.
The augmented reality allows for a 3D learning experience.
It can be exhausting, to sit and look at video of people all day long.
The platform is still new. However, Scott Norris, a sophomore at Ball State, loves the idea.
It would make it more entertaining and be able to stay awake longer because you could look at the different backgrounds.
Even though the software is mainly used at other schools, Phil Walk sees a future beyond that.
I'd love to do that at Ball State as well.
And he says the possibilities are out of this world.
You can do things that you can't do in real life. So for instance, we've done a lot with the moon where you can take a class to the moon and all walk around in spacesuits. And
Phil Walk said meeting socially, but still virtually, is the goal of Meet 3D. In Muncie, Catherine Segal, NewsLink, Indiana.
After almost a week, the Suez Canal is open again. European space imaging captured a bird's-eye view over the recently opened canal. The Suez Canal imaging highlighted the release of the stuck Ever Given ship. The imagery was captured with the GOI-1 at 50-centimeter full color, showing how the container ship that blocked passage was freed. Multiple tugboats surround the ship in both directions, and dredging equipment was still visible in the water. Further upstream, many ships waited to enter the canal. The stuck ship caused several economic issues recently, including raising the price of shipping.
Parts of Tennessee are dealing with severe flooding today after major storms hit overnight. A local state emergency was declared by Nashville Mayor John Cooper due to the flooding. Officials say 4 people died as a result of the weekend storms. Fire department crews say they responded to more than 250 incidents, with dozens of people being transported. The National Weather Service says more rivers and creeks in the area have increased, while others are almost at that point. The NWS tweeted that it could take a few days for the high waters to fully recede. And we've been pretty lucky with having clear skies and hopefully no rain or even floodings coming our way. Rudy, what do you have?
Yeah, we've seen clear skies and warm temperatures over the last few days, as you can see on radar right now. However, clouds, rain, wind, all on the way, plus a cool down coming up later in the week. I'll have all that and more after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting.
and even though we're overcoming obstacles, watching each other's backs,
And banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward. Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back. The time is now 9:16. We have a beautiful picture of Ball State's campus. It's been pretty nice today, but it's been a little chilly. Hopefully Rudy can tell us more about what the weather is going to look like the rest of this week.
Yeah, as you can see on radar right now, beautiful cloudless skies in our area, and actually that's pretty much true for most of our area around the Midwest, as well as down south and up the East Coast, all thanks to a high pressure center sitting in southern Kentucky, pushing kind of all the clouds out of the way. The storms that we talked about in Tennessee and that even brought hail here to Muncie on Saturday night have finally moved out and pushed off over the Atlantic Ocean as of this morning. So we have clear weather all around our area right now. And speaking of severe weather and those storms we saw, we are officially starting to get into severe weather season here in Indiana and across the U.S. So far this year, we have seen 200 tornado reports across the U.S., with 128 confirmed by the National Weather Service already. Now, none of those have been here in Indiana, but we have seen several hail and damaging wind reports. So get ready to brace for the full impact of severe weather season. Moving on to our precision cast right now, again, no severe weather in our area right now, but as we move overnight into tomorrow morning, you will see some clouds start to form in our area tomorrow morning. As we get into later in the day, those clouds turn into rain, and by tomorrow night, we'll have rain showers throughout our area. Those are going to stick around for a few hours overnight, and then as we get into Wednesday morning, the rain will finally clear out, but the clouds will be sticking around. Looking at our almanac right now, you can see today we had a high of 58 degrees. That's actually above our average of 52 for this day every year. However, that is nothing compared to the 78 degrees back in 1963. Hopefully we get some temperatures like 78 coming up in the forecast soon. Now, those above average temperatures combined with the below average temperatures we saw yesterday to give us a nice drastic 12-degree temperature change compared to this time yesterday. 12 degrees cooler yesterday than it was right now. 12 degrees in Indianapolis as well. Those temperatures still remaining pretty warm in our area. 54 degrees in Muncie, 52 in Indianapolis, 54 in Bloomington. Our high again, 58 degrees, so only cooled down a little bit from there so far. Moving on to tonight, clear skies, 43 degrees our low, winds remaining pretty calm at 10 to 15 miles an hour, but that is not the case for tomorrow morning. If we look towards tomorrow, we're going to start sunny, 44 degrees, and then as the day goes on, we'll warm up to about 67 with those clouds again moving into our area. But look at these winds. As we get into the day, 20 to 25 miles an hour with gusts up to the 30, 40 mile an hour range. Pretty strong winds in our area. Looking at our mid 7-day forecast, you can see again, those clouds moving in tomorrow. Wednesday, we're going to see some rain in the morning. Then as we get into Thursday, the temperature is going to drop down to 38 on Thursday before a nice rebound going into the later part of the week. The weekend, look at that, warming right up, sunny, 69 degrees, nice Sunday coming up, and then Monday and the week ahead, 70s in our forecast. Looking like great weather out there, guys. Once we get into next week, today, tomorrow, going to see some wind and rain for the forecast right now.
Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for the severe weather to hold off as much as possible.
Yeah.
And now we'll go ahead and take it to Brittany for some news on sports.
Yeah, Lily and Maddie, we're running full steam ahead along Ball State's track team. We'll take a look at the latest. Plus, take a look at this. Have you noticed the Cardinal logo on the court during March Madness? Well, you're not just seeing things. We'll tell you how it's helping the university and its students next in sports.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener and loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo, is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. And I think of kids going to school hungry. Hunger, homelessness. In this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Weeknights, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal weather. We've got the latest news headlines.
Freezing temperatures have set in all the way down in Louisiana.
One man dead after flooding in Venice, Italy.
Up to the minute weather conditions.
Cold temperatures are the story this morning.
And of course, lots of fun.
It is not funny.
What on earth is happening there?
I feel sorry for the little guy.
I've got my socks on. Annie with her curly hair, which is actually never curly. Join us Friday mornings at 8 on Facebook Live.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Brittany Dobbins with sports. Outdoor track and field is underway and Ball State is in the race for top standings. Climbing to the ranks to number 5 in the Great Lakes region, these standings date all the way back to 2010 season, but let's take a look at the Cardinals' top performances. Now they're not only the best in 100, but they're also the best in 200, 800, 5,000, 100 hurdles, 4x1, 4x4, high jump, and even javelin. But these standings won't stop the Cardinals because they're looking to assert more dominance this weekend in Louisville. Now moving on to March Madness, Ball State thinking the court in Indianapolis, but not in the way you're thinking. NewsLink Indiana's Vincent Martirano shows us how.
We were thrilled that it was happening, of course, and then it was kind of whether or not would games take place at Worthen Arena, would they be in other venues across the state.
And normally you'd find Ball State playing here at Worthen Arena on the Cardinal logoed floor, but here this March, it's a little bit different down in Indy.
And once it was determined that games would be at Bankers Life Fieldhouse and that Ball State University would be the host institution at those games, we had to move fairly quickly to mobilize and plan appropriately.
Sean Sullivan, tournament manager for the games at Bankers Life, says having the Cardinal on the court not only benefited the university, but it also helped out the students as well.
We had a number of students who were able to get involved, whether that was with our equipment operations, whether that was game day operations. So that's primary one, right? Is just to get our people and our students involved with the historic events.
As smoothly as the tournament is run, the team organizing the event jumped through some hurdles along the way.
I think it was just a tremendous obstacle for everyone involved to plan an NCAA tournament within 2.5 months in one location.
With the tournament being formed on short notice, time was not on their side.
It was just kind of a 60, 70-day sprint to get to that first game.
Even though Ball State was the affiliate at Bankers Life, Sullivan believes that Worthen would have done just fine holding the games as well.
I think we were certainly capable and have one of the best facilities in the state, if not the Midwest or country.
In Muncie, Vincent Martirano, NewsLink Indiana.
Now sticking to all things madness, March Madness is at its finest. If you missed last night's UCLA-Alabama game, well, you missed a doozy. UCLA up by 3 with 4.2 to go. Bama ball, they take it in the distance, bang, tie ball game at Hinkle Fieldhouse, but sadly for the Tide, they fell short in overtime with the final being 88-78. For the Bruins of UCLA, though, they're not the only first team in NCAA history to make it to the Elite Eight. And now a quick check on the NewsLink Indiana Bracket Challenge. Assistant Sports Director Joey Moore holding down first place. Rigged, I don't know, but I'll let you be the judge. Tied for second is Darius Black from Sports and Weather's Natasha Leland. But how about fourth? Assistant Digital Content Manager Logan Salzburner is holding that place down and rounding it off in 5th. Our news director, Tyler Brummett, well, Tyler, I don't know how you got up there because I was holding down first place last week. But, I mean, I guess it was Loyola versus, I don't even know, but Loyola took it unexpectedly.
Well,
and Oral Roberts, a lot of upsets.
Yeah, Madeline and I have no room to talk. We actually didn't make a bracket. But, you know, if you say it's rigged, I believe you it's rigged. We'll give you one final look at weather after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let
Thank you.
No problem. Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now? Right now.
You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Now it's time for our anchor picks. Lil Nas X, the rapper best known for his family-friendly hit Old Town Road, teamed up with New York art collective Mischief to modify Nike shoes. It's all about a big promotion for Lil Nas X's new song called Montro, Call Me By Your Name. They put a pentagram on the side on the kicks and upside-down cross, and then injected the red ink and a drop of human blood into the shoe's air bubble soles. The blood comes from Mischief members who donated it, and the shoes cost just over $1,000. Nike has been quick to distance itself from the shoes and are looking to sue the brand as it has nothing to do with the modification.
And in other news, Prince William was named the world's sexiest bald man. According to The Sun, the Duke of Cambridge earned this title with data from cosmetic surgery specialists. And researchers say the 38-year-old William was called sexy nearly 18 million times online. Of course, after the royal announcement, critics ran to social media to sound off. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson jokingly tweeted that he was demanding a recount because comedian Larry David didn't get the nod. You know, Prince Harry still has some hair on his head. He's still not completely bald. I think that title should be voided.
I know. I was going to say he does have some hair on his head. I personally think The Rock would be the better choice there.
My vote is Stanley Tucci. Rudy, what do you think?
No, I'm going to have to agree with that Stanley Tucci pick. I have to agree with that one. But he's not nearly as hot as the temperatures we're going to see at the end of our 7-day forecast. However, before we get to those, we're going to have to see on Wednesday, rain chances early in the morning, strong winds on Tuesday as well. As we get into the middle of the week, temperatures cooling down to 38, but as we get into that weekend again, warming back up, a nice sunny warm weekend ahead, and then 70s as we get into next week.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.